early days of construction, homes were often elevated on blocks, allowing air to flow freely beneath the house. This helped to prevent moisture buildup and wood decay. But with the energy crisis of the 1970s, homeowners began sealing up their homes to improve energy efficiency. As a result, crawl spaces became enclosed, trapping moisture and creating a whole new set of problems. Everything changed when air conditioning became common. This introduced a temperature difference between the inside and outside of the home, causing what's known as the stack effect. Warm air rises and escapes through the upper levels, pulling cooler, humid air into the lower levels. And where does that air end up? In your crawl space. Without proper ventilation or makeup air, your crawl space becomes a magnet for dampness. Think about this. 47% of homes in the US suffer from mold and mildew, conditions that can affect the health of everyone living in the house. In fact, the EPA reports that indoor air can be up to 5 times more polluted than outdoor air due to factors like mold growth. And since up to 85% of the air you breathe on the first floor comes from your crawl space, you could be living in a toxic environment without even knowing it.
Before calling Bradley Mechanical to encapsulate our home, we were experiencing all sorts of problems, which led me to go to an allergist and have some allergy testing done. And come to find out, mold was one of my main allergens, and the symptoms started to get worse and worse.
Mold can create allergies. Like, you might not have had allergies in the beginning, you may not have had health issues in the beginning, but when you're really exposed and marinating in mold, in airborne mold spores, you're just gonna have all sorts of problems that you don't really, you become really sensitive to it and really sick, and encapsulating your crawl space is really the only way to fix that.
Mold isn't the only issue. High moisture levels in your crawl space create a breeding ground for pests like termites, spiders, and rodents. These pests can cause structural damage and bring additional health risks into your home. In a damp crawl space, wood can rot, floors start to cup, and over time, this can lead to costly repairs.
I wish the first thing we had done when we moved in here was encapsulate the crawl space. I think that would have mitigated 90% of the issues that we've had that we didn't realize were coming from underneath the house.
Right, otherwise you're in danger of foundation cracking, termites, all sorts of basically internal rotting in your home.
Bradley Mechanical has been protecting homes for over 25 years by properly sealing and encapsulating crawl spaces. A sealed crawl space can save you 15% to 20% on your energy bills by preventing humid air from entering your home. Not only that, but it can increase your home's value, improve structural integrity, and enhance the indoor air quality you and your family rely on.
One of the major changes that I've noticed, aside from obviously feeling much healthier and breathing easier right away, is the difference in energy savings. The power bill decreased by roughly 50%.
There's places to cut corners, there's places to be a little frugal, and the crawl space is not the place to do that.
Bradley Mechanical's encapsulation process begins by addressing any water intrusion. We install a vapor barrier at least 10 mil thick, which is sealed airtight to prevent ground moisture from entering the crawl space. Next, the foundation walls are insulated with R10 foam board, and any existing insulation that's damaged or trapping moisture is removed. The process also involves sealing the sill plate to the foundation while leaving a gap for termite inspections. A dehumidifier is installed to keep the humidity below 60%, as mold cannot grow in conditions below this threshold. By maintaining a dry and insulated environment, the encapsulation not only prevents structural damage, but also creates a healthier living environment.
Until you take the steps and the effort to do an encapsulation, the underneath of your house is just going to be rotting.
I think the technicians have been great about educating us about how important it is to keep your crawl space in your home dry and prevent problems. And if you've never lived in a community where water is an issue, you may not know that, even though if you've owned a home before, that owning a home where there's a lot of dampness, you really have to stay on top of your maintenance schedule.
AeroSeal adds another layer of protection to your crawl space by sealing leaks in the HVAC ductwork. This cutting-edge technology injects sealant particles into the ducts to close off gaps and holes, preventing unconditioned, damp air from entering your home. This dramatically improves indoor air quality and boosts your system's energy efficiency. With AeroSeal, you can expect up to a 30% reduction in energy consumption, making it a key component of an effective crawlspace encapsulation. Not all crawlspace encapsulations are the same. Bradley Mechanical follows proven science to ensure your crawlspace is sealed the right way, and our work comes with a lifetime workmanship warranty. With 25 years of experience, we know what works.
The process of working with Bradley Mechanical from the very beginning to the very end has been fantastic. I've found that the technicians are extremely professional. They're bringing you into the loop with everything that's happening and going on, explaining it in detail. It's just been a much better situation, much better quality of life.
By encapsulating your crawl space with Bradley Mechanical, you're not only improving your home's energy efficiency, but you're also investing in your family's health. Sealing the crawl space reduces allergens, prevents pests, and increases the longevity of your home structure. After all, a home is only as healthy as the air you breathe, and that starts from the ground up.
We're Bradley Mechanical.